This video is going to be an example of factoring a quadratic expression using the A times C method. The very first thing that we should do is identify A, B, and C in this quadratic expression. A is the coefficient of x squared. So in our case, A is 2. B is the coefficient of x. So in our case, B is 7. And C is the constant. So for us, C equals negative 15. Now, as the name A times C method suggests, the next thing we should do is multiply A times C. So for us, that's 2 times negative 15, which is negative 30. Now that we know that A times C is negative 30, our next step is to start looking for factors of negative 30 that add to 7, which is our B term. So we're looking for factors of A times C that add to B. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. Again, we're looking for factors of A times C that add to B. I like to start by just listing all the possible factors of 30. So, factors of 30. The two easy ones right off the bat are 1 and 30. Then I just start going down. 1, 2. Well, yes, 2 will go into 30. That's 15. I can use 3. 3 and 10. I can keep going. 4, 5. Yeah, 5 works. 5 and 6. And now I could write 6 down here, but I've already written 6 down once. So that tells me I've actually listed all the possible factors of 30 already. So now I start looking to see, is there any way that 2 of these could add together to be 7? Remember that they need to multiply together to be negative 30. So that means that one of them is going to have to be negative. And since they add together to be a positive number, 7, that means that the smaller one will be the negative one. So I'm just going to put a little negative sign in front of each of these and then start experimenting to see which ones will add up to positive 7. I see, well, that doesn't work. Nope, 2 and 15 is not 7. But negative 3 and 10 add to be positive 7. So we found our 2 numbers. Now we just have to figure out what to do with them. I'm going to continue this problem on a new page. So I started with 2x squared plus 7x minus 15. And I just found my 2 magic numbers using the A times C method. And those numbers were, what were they? Negative 3 and 10. Negative 3 and 10. So a little reminder that these were our magic numbers. What we're going to do is use these 2 numbers to rewrite this middle term as 2 pieces. This is going to become 2x squared minus 3x plus 10x minus 15. Notice that the negative 3x and the 10x add up to 7x. So we've kind of uncombined like terms. And we have a reason. This is going to help us out so that we can factor by grouping. The idea of factoring by grouping is to look at my expression as 2 groups. I'm going to highlight my first group here in pink and my second group over here in blue. All right. So from my first group, do these 2 have anything in common? Well, yes, they have an x in common, so I will factor an x out of that first group. Now I have x times 2x minus 3. And from this second group, do they have anything in common? Well, yes, they have a 5, so I can factor a 5 out. So 5 times 2x minus 3. All right. Now if our factoring by grouping has gone as planned, the stuff in the parentheses here will be the same for both terms. So what I have is 2 terms, each of which have this pink blob in them. I can factor that pink thing out, leaving myself with 2x minus 3 times x plus 5. The x is what's left from the first term, and the 5 is what's left from the second term. And now I have my factorization. 2x squared plus 7x minus 15 should factor as 2x minus 3 times x plus 5. I always recommend checking at the end here just to make sure. So I will FOIL this back out to check, and I get 2x squared plus 10x minus 3x minus 15. And those middle 2 terms will combine to be 7x. So sure enough, it worked.